Right, the Sunday game saw Hearts entertain relegation-threatened Hamilton. The home side looking for back-to-back wins for the first time this year. The Accies out to repeat their success in what became known as the Battle of New Douglas Park. Before the game, a minute's applause to remember the late Alan Gordon, who played not only for both Edinburgh clubs, but both Dundee teams as well. The key moments with Jonathan Sutherland.
Just me, or echoes of Marco van Basten's goal in the European Championship final of 1988 about this effort from Hamilton's Flavio Paixão? Van Basten's hit the back of the net, of course. That was it in terms of the first half highlights. As for the second half, Callum Elliott scuffed a few stabs at goal before Lee Wallace blazed over the bar for Hearts. Then a corner from Arvydas Novakovas was flicked on by David Abua and then headed wide by Jason Thompson. Some half-hearted appeals for a penalty, but nothing doing. This wasn't a classic under the crisp, wintry Edinburgh sunshine, although a sublime pass from Marco Paixão allowed in twin brother Flavio for another chance for Accies, but Hearts keeper Marian Kello saved fairly comfortably from the winger. Neither team played particularly well, but Hamilton manager Billy Reid unhappy at his team's inability to nick points from scrappy encounters. Hearts nicked the frame of the goal here, marauding left-back Lee Wallace again with a shot. Then some involvement from Hearts' new signing from Ayr United. Ryan Stevenson scampering forward and cutting inside before providing the perfect ball into the box for David Abua, who put Hearts 1-0 up. And a timely goal for Abua. Hearts manager Jim Jeffries had been just about to substitute the Ugandan midfielder after a poor start to the second half. Jeffries also said this was one of those games where it was all about who got that first goal, and 1-0 up, Hearts made the game safe. A mistake from Hamilton defender Brian Easton, and David Templeton forced the ball home for his first ever Hearts goal. A silly error is how Billy Reid described Easton's lob of his own keeper Thomas Cherney. Hearts 2-0 up in the 80th minute. It wasn't quite all over for Hamilton, who hoisted in a high ball that Hearts couldn't quite clear, and attempting to atone for his mistake, Easton gave the ball a right good wallop, but Kello gathered at the second attempt. And suddenly it's better times these for Hearts. The seldom seen Laria Kingston even put in an appearance, his first since December, and this would also be Hearts' first back-to-back win since December. As for Hamilton, they stay second bottom, just 1 point ahead of Falkirk.
Yeah, 2 wins in the trot for Jim Jeffries at Tynecastle. It wasn't a classic yesterday, but the important thing for them was getting the win. Let's just take a look at the 2 goals that won it. And David Abua, I have to say, he wasn't having a great game, but a big part to play in this right from the build-up.
Yeah, well, credit to him. You know, I think he wins the initial header, Richard, and he just follows the ball forward. And you know, I think the closer he gets to the 18-yard box, he realises Ryan Stevenson does really well, turns himself back inside. Abua sees a little bit of space, takes the gamble as a midfield player probably should. Gets himself in the end of it and puts Hearts 1-0 up.
Yeah, it was a great run through, and David Templeton too, causing trouble, I suppose, for Brian Easton. And again, nice to see another of the young Hearts players getting on target. Well,
I think the young Hearts players have to get on target, because they don't have an experienced centre forward. Well, they do in Nari, but there's been ongoing problems there. So it's up to David Templeton, up to Callum Elliott to try and get themselves in the team and get themselves goals.
And good to see Jim, like Craig Brown, I suppose, at Motherwell, Jim Jeffries, he's gone back to Tynecastle, but getting them up and running again.
It's amazing when he's at Kilmarnock, he couldn't buy a win. Suddenly gets himself to Tynecastle, gets himself back to Tynecastle after a few away games, 2 home wins. I think that's 5 out of 6 home wins now for Hearts in a row. So all things looking rosy at Tynecastle again.
Indeed. Right, let's take a look at the league table before we leave you tonight. Just confirmation that it's a 7-point advantage that Rangers hold going into the Old Firm game next weekend. Still, of course, with that game in hand. Motherwell closing in on Dundee United and Hibernian in the battle for 3rd and 4th place, and tightening up at the bottom too as Falkirk get ever closer to Hamilton and St Mirren in particular.